Okay, can we start, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So good morning, all the participants, and sorry for the delay. There was some technical issue. So it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Vineet Kumar, our first speaker for today's session in this certificate course on data analysis. Dr. Vineet Kumar Singh is an assistant professor at Acharya Narendra Dev College, University of Delhi, specializing in reproductive ecology of plants. His research expertise center around plant-pollinator interaction and conservation. Notably, his work on nectar robbing in Ticomela undulata represents the first detailed report on the ecological consequence of nectar robbing in the in the Indian subcontinent. Currently, Dr. Singh is investigating the effect of habitat restoration on plant pollinator interaction at the community level. Additionally, he integrates biostatistics rigorously into his research and teaching, enhancing the analysis and interpretation of ecological data to uncover meaningful patterns in plant reproductive biology and community ecology. We are delighted to have Dr. Vineet with us today, and we look forward to his insight and expertise as he engages with our participant on the SPSS in data.
Is software package for statistical analysis. It was previously known as SPSS so it is just the name is redundant and it is only known as IBM SPSS statistics. So I will be sharing my screen and starting with the basics of SPSS. What is SPSS and how to perform statistical analysis, basic statistical analysis in SPSS, and how to plot some graphs in that software. So I will be sharing my screen, entire screen, and I think it is now. So my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, this is the SPSS window, and it is a very easy software. It is highly recommended for basic statistic analysis and also for advanced statistical analysis. It is very helpful because it has only drop down menus. You can see we can do statistics or we can analyze statistics as compared to R, where we need to do coding. In this case, there are only drop down menus, and it make easy user interface for the statistical analysis. So this is the thing after we start this software package, and there are two sheets. You can see at the bottom, this is data view and this is variable view. So there are two things. So in data view, we can enter several set uh, depending on the variable in the rows. Okay. So in variable view, we can enter the name or description of the variable. For example, let me type something. So this is 1, 2, 3. Suppose this is the data set. So it will give automatic name to variable 1. So there is another, we can type some other data set. It will automatically give variable name depending on the variable 1, 2, 3, etc. We can change these name in the variable. There is data view where we can enter our data set, and there is a variable view. As soon as we change the name of this variable, so it will reflect in the data view. So we need to understand both these sheets. This is the first sheet, data view, is exactly like the Excel sheet, and variable view is where you can demarcate the data set. Okay, the variables, different variables. So first, you can in first column you can enter the name. The only thing is you cannot give a space bar in this. You cannot give space. Suppose I would like to write students percentage, so it will not take this. So it is an illegal character. So if you need to enter uh, uh, something, person age, so you, instead of that space bar, you must give underscore person age. It will take that. Okay. So first column is name of the variable. Second, it's type. Either it is numeric, you can enter as a string where you can just write name, male or female type, or you can have it in a date format or in currency format. There are several variables. Now, width represents the width of this column. How many numeric data can enter in this column? If we increase this to suppose 20, this will also increase. Okay, this column width will increase, and we can increase or decrease depending on this column width. Okay, we can keep it at 8. Now these are decimal values. Up to how much decimal values we can uh, keep in that column. And label, I will show you the label tab later on. Then label, you can write age in years as such, and values. Suppose you have a gender column, and you need to 1 to 1 to 1 for female and 2 for male. Then you need to change these values. You have to designate one label this as male. Label this as male, and two, and label this as female. Okay, so it will reflect in. We can remove this from age and put it in this gender column. One male and two for male. Okay, so in this it has changed. Uh, this variable view describes the data set present in the data view. Okay, so first is name, then type, width, decimals, and then values. This is missing number, and these are column width, and this is alignment of the data set, right aligned, center aligned, and then there is another thing is measurement. So there are 4 scales of measurements: scale, ordinal, nominal, ratio, and interval. Ratio and interval is both connected with scale, and then nominal and interval. So basically, if we take gender, we can write nominal, person age in scale. We can, depending on the data set, we can change this measurement scale. Okay. So similar, because this is very costly software. So a freeware is present, which is known as PSPP. So I have shared the link of that PSPP with sir. I hope everyone has that PSPP software, which is similar to SPSS in module, but it performs. It does not has few specific function which can be performed by SPSS, but it has most of the statistical parameters in it. So only thing lacking is in graph. It can plot only 3 types of graph, but in statistical packages, it has everything: regression, correlation, one-way ANOVA, multiple ANOVA. It can do anything in terms of statistics, but in terms of graph building, this has limitations. Only has 3 graphs to plot. Okay, so this is basic interface. Both same in PSPP and SPSS. You can see there is also a data view and variable view. Similar. a data view and variable. So this is the basic really do in PSPP. What are the differences in uploading the data set into this software? You can also directly copy the data set from Excel, but if you need to import directly from Excel, you can do this also. So first, go to File and click Open. And in the Data tab, you first search your folder. So this will not show anything until you change this file type name from SAV to Excel. Now it will show all the Excel file you can upload into this SPSS file. So first we do this test file. So this automatically enters the variable names and different things, nominal scale, because ID and gender are in terms of nominal scale. 1, 2 is ID number and gender is either male or female. You can change this gender tab and give them values or label to the values. First is male and second is female. These 1 and 2 only represent the position of that male or female. Okay, nothing else, no values. So this is a nominal scale where we have changed this to male and female. So this is the way we upload the file in SPSS. But in PSPP, it does not take Excel file. We have to convert as Excel file into document related file. So how to convert? You just open your test file, Excel file into open document spreadsheet. Okay. Open document spreadsheet. So after you save it into open document spreadsheet, you can now import it into PSPP. So it says in PSPP, you go to File and then Import Data. You can search your folder where it is there and you take that Open Document Spreadsheet file. Open Document Spreadsheet file. Okay. So it will show like this, but you can. It is ID, gender, age, biology, and maths. The scores, which are names of the variable. So we need to check this box because they are variables name. So it will shift these to variable column. So you can see after pressing next, it will now is in variable column. Okay. So you need to check that box so that the variable name enters into the variable column. Now you just need to press apply. So it will upload into this PSPP software. So first thing is to upload dataset into the PSPP or SPSS module where you can start with your statistical analysis. So anyone has problem until कोई share करना चाहेगा अपना screen? Anyone want to share your screen so that
I don't think अभी किसी ने सर एक बात जो है ना मुझे जानना है, ये दोबारा एक बार रिपीट कर देंगे जो PSPS वाला.
हाँ सर, PSPP में in PSPP it does not take Excel as such sir.
How did you shift the name of the column? वो थोड़ा सा समझ में आया.
Okay sir. So while importing the from this file, suppose this data set, so it is in first column now, है ना sir? So just we need to check this box. Use the first selected row as variable names.
Okay. I missed this point. I missed this. Okay.
You need to just check this box and then do next. So it will automatically uh, shift this variable name into the variable boxes and then apply. So
Okay.
in this PSPP, it is similar to SPSS. Now you can also label this in PSPP as well. These gender column from variable views, you just need to label these gender column by double click, because it does not show the corner option. You just need to do double click and put values as 1 and value labels as male. Similarly, for female, okay, so it will show like this. So to change this from uh, 1 to label, just you have to click this label tag, value label tag. It will automatically change to male and female. So it is now similar to SPSS, where 20 IDs are there and male and female labels are present. Same in PSP. Okay. Now, next part is to analyze our data set, or make a frequency table, and or some so look into the things that our data set is normal or not. So for that, there are different tabs. You can see this is file tab, this is edit tab, insert where you can insert variable, insert cases, view tab, data tab. So the most important tabs are these two: analyze tab and transform tab. You will be only working in these two tabs for statistical analysis. For transform tab is generally used when we transform our data set. Suppose we need to log transform our percentage. Generally, in some statistical analysis, percentage data set has to be transformed for normalization. So this tab is only useful in that condition. We have to log transform some value, change the values of these data sets. Suppose these marks into some log values. We need to do this transform tab from this transform tab. And rest, everything is there in analyze tab. Okay. So for making a descriptive analysis or descriptive statistics mean that it will describe the data set. It will describe the data set, how it is distributed across the mean, and uh, how the points are distributed across the mean, and also the frequency of the these individual variables. So for this, we go to analyze, and in descriptive statistics, we can go to frequencies or descriptives, either of this. Okay, so let's start with frequencies. Okay, so in the variable, we can enter gender, biology, or age, anything you want. It will give the frequency of, suppose these three are different things: age, gender, and biology. And in this, we can have a histogram where we can enter a normal curve on histogram. Okay, then continue. In statistics, we can do everything: mean, median, mode, sum, standard deviation, everything. Every descriptive statistics we can enter: mean, median, sum, standard deviation. Okay, standard error, skewness, kurtosis, etc. Okay, so this, after clicking OK, a separate window will open, which is the output window, and these are the frequencies based on. These are n values: mean, standard error, median, standard deviation of every other thing, gender, age, and biology, because there is only two variables in gender, male or female. So it will depend on that value. Okay. So these are frequencies. Male has 10 males and 10 females with percentage scores as well. and cumulative percentages as well. So it shows everything. This is basically a frequency table. Frequency means how frequent that value comes into that variable. So there are, so for example, there are 4 people which have 18 years of age. Okay. So 2 persons has 87 score. So this will only show the this frequency chart, and this is the bar graph, and you can see the data of this age and biology, because this is nominal data. Age is also nominal, but it has some values. Now you can see that the standard deviation is 1.899, and in this case the standard deviation is 11, but mean is 79. In this case the mean is 19. So this is more spread as compared to this one, and it is slightly right shifted graph, but most of it shows normal distribution pattern. So we can analyze the pattern of the distribution of the variables from frequencies, how well it is distributed along the different samples. Okay. Now, second thing is, in analyze tab only, in descriptive statistics, we can do descriptives. So if we need to do descriptive of biology and maths, the 2 subjects, and we just do OK. So it will give the descriptive values of minimum, maximum, mean, standard deviation. You can also do this descriptive, and in option you can take several other things: variance, range, standard error, mean, skewness, kurtosis. Okay. And bootstrap is basically the confidence interval. It randomize the samples. क्या होता है? Random sampling कर. It मतलब run a bootstrap meaning means that it randomize these numbers up to 1,000 samples and then give result. So we do not need that. We need only for 20 samples, and then we say OK. So it will give everything: range, minimum, maximum, mean, standard deviation, variance, skewness, and kurtosis values from this descriptive. Similarly, in PSPP, we can do these frequencies and this one from analyze tab. Same transform and analyze tab is present in PSP. So in analyze tab, in descriptive statistics, we can go to descriptive, and there is slight difference in the module of SPSS and PSPP. So the basically the OK tab is present vertically rather than horizontally. The rest is same. So in variables we can enter both. After selecting biology and math, we can enter both, and we can select from these things: range, standard deviation, variance, kurtosis. Need to check these boxes. Okay, and then press OK. So it will give these values similar to SPSS in this column. Now, the third SPSS and PSPP is to analyze the data set. Sorry, this one. Okay, the third thing is, in analyze tab in descriptive statistics, there is one very nice option which is known as explore. Now this explore gives everything: plots, graphs, statistics, the descriptive statistics of entire data set. So and it can differentiate on the basis of the nominal values, nominal variables such as gender or ID if we want. So suppose in dependent list, First, we try to do normally without these factors. Now, in the dependent list, we enter both biology and maths. And in statistics, we can check descriptives, entire descriptives. We can do for percentiles analysis. And in plots, we can have histograms. And then in options, this is for pairwise selection. We don't need these pairwise selection in this case. So just we need to do statistic. We need to check statistics, our statistics and plots, and then press OK. So in the explore option, it will give everything. And also along with histogram, it makes a box plot of that data set or that variable. Okay. So it will give a stem and leaf chart, also the box plot, both histogram, box plot, and stem and leaf chart, along with the descriptive analysis and percentiles, statistics, everything, variance, median, standard deviation, every descriptive statistics it will provide. So this is the best option out of three: descriptive, frequencies, and explore. So this basically structure our data set. Uh, Another thing you can do is in explore, you can add so that it will divide the data set on the basis of the gender, male and female. Okay. So it will, and just say okay. Now you see in this case, it will make similar histograms for biology and maths, but now it has divided the data set into male and female of this variable, particular variable, biology, and for maths also. So female generally has higher maths um, scores, but it is not very significant. Similarly, in this case, it is showing significant difference in case of biology. Okay, you can see with the graph, because highest range is lower than the mean female. By looking into graph, you can analyze that it is significantly different or not. So it will provide a bar graph, box plot on the base, histogram and box plot on the basis of gender or variable, which is nominal variable, and it will give the statistical results also on the base of these nominal variables. Similarly, these things you can do it in PSPP as well. From Analyze tab, you will go to Descriptive Statistics and Expanded. You insert Biology and Maths, because these are dependent data set where our results are dependent on these data set, and Factor on the basis of gender. Okay, and then just press OK. It will give these values. Okay, similar things in PSP. Okay, so this is basically to descriptive statistic, how to do descriptive statistics in SPSS. Okay, now our next part is to do correlation analysis in this SPSS. How to correlate the values. Okay, so for correlation, suppose we have an hypothesis that uh, the if a person or a individual is good in biology, he is also good in maths. You have to test this hypothesis. Is this possible? क्या जो person जो है जो biology में जितने marks लाता है उतना ही अच्छा वो maths में भी है या नहीं? To test this hypothesis, we have correlation analysis. Correlation is basically it shows how one variable rises or decreases depending on the other variable. Okay, so positive correlation means both variables are rising or decreasing in the similar pattern. If one rises, another one also rises. If one decreases, another variable also decreases. So that is positive correlation. And in negative correlation is opposite sides. If one increases, other one decreases. Okay, so in this, if we are testing the hypothesis that if the person can has good marks in biology, must score well in maths also. So for analyzing this, we need to go to analysis and then correlate. Okay, so in SPSS it is very easy. You go to correlate and then enter the variables, and you can select the two types of correlation, very useful, Pearson and Spearman correlation, and then you give the two tail hypothesis and one tail hypothesis. Basically two tail hypothesis said is that suppose if we say that CGPA score of our college is 8, so to reject that claim, we can prove that CGPA score is either less than 8 or either more than 8. So that is two-tailed. We can reject that hypothesis on both sides. But if we say that the CGPA score of our college is more than 8, then to reject that hypothesis, we have only one side. We show that it is less than 8, then it will be rejected. So that is one tail. So we generally choose two-tail hypothesis. We can have liberty to reject at both places. Okay. So in this correlation, we take two-tail hypothesis. Means if we need means and standard deviation of the data set, we can also check this box and then okay. So it will give results. This is correlation result. This is descriptive statistics. First box in correlation analysis is descriptive statistics. This is an output data set. Second is correlation analysis. So you can see that between biology and math, there is 0.683, fairly good correlation, very good correlation in between maths and biology. So a person which is good in biology tends to score good in maths also. So in both case, you can see Pearson correlation value is 0.683. The maximum value is +1 to -1. So this is 0.683, fairly good correlation between biology and maths. 0.644, almost similar to Pearson. So in both conditions, that a person who is good in biology is also good in maths. These results shows that there is very good correlation between maths and biology of the student data set. Okay, so in PSPP, how to do correlation analysis in PSPP. So from analyze tab, this is bivariate correlation. We cannot do more correlation analysis as in PSPP. It has only bivariate correlation. यानी दो के बीच में. Bi means दो and variables means the data set of two dependent variables. Okay, so we can do only bivariate correlation, not multiple correlation as in SPSS. So in bivariate correlation, we enter these data set and then two-tailed, then okay, it will only provide about Pearson correlation. No Spearman correlation data is provided in this, but Pearson correlation is good enough correlation. So it is 0.683. It is also showing same correlation value as in SPSS. Okay, so this is basically correlation. However, you can make an equation out of it using regression. So basically, in this data set, we have done correlation. We have correlated these two data sets. Suppose we need to predict.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes,
before moving to the regression, just like you just mentioned that we can have a multiple variable correlation coefficient
yes,
in
sir.
SPSS.
Yes, sir.
So, is it
Sir,
possible for you to display it for us? Like if we
uh,
are taking air, biology, and math.
okay, sir. Let me. Then multiple correlation का sir इसमें generalized linear model, multivariate analysis. No, sir. In this, I think correlation वो नए version में है sir. इस वाले में है नहीं. इसमें भी
Okay.
नहीं है. Partial correlation है, distances, but not multiple correlation in this
Oh,
also. सर
okay.
नए वाले वर्जन में 25th वाला जो है ना 21 25 उसमें है, इसमें
Okay.
नहीं लिखा,
No,
नहीं तो
no
इसी
worries.
में आता टैब में मल्टीपल लिखा था.
Acha, acha, acha. No
ओके
worries. But for I just want to inform our
हाँ सर, मैं वो
participants.
आपको शेयर कर दूंगा.
हाँ.
25th वाला वर्जन वो एक्चुअली यूनिवर्सिटी में ही खुलता है, जो
Okay,
मैंने
okay,
अपलोड किया है ना यूनिवर्सिटी की उधर कॉलेज में रहता तो वो खुल जाता. तो
okay.
अभी इसलिए मैंने घर से कर रहा हूँ, तो इसमें सिर्फ मेरे पास ये 16 पुराना वाला वर्जन है, 17 या 16 है, तो उसी में शो कर रहा है. इसमें है नहीं सर, इसमें काफी चीजें नहीं है, पीसीए भी नहीं है, उसमें पीसीए भी है, तो
Okay,
आई
okay.
विल शेयर दैट आल्सो सर.
ठीक है सर,
मल्टीपल
ठीक है.
कोरिलेशन वाला वो बना के मैं भेज दूंगा. ओके
सर जो तो क्या हम मतलब अभी ब्रेक लें या अभी थोड़ी थोड़ी देर के बाद लें?
हाँ सर, जैसे आप बोले.
मतलब हाउ मच टाइम इट विल टेक इन द
सर
रिग्रेशन पार्ट?
सर रिग्रेशन में तो 10 मिनट्स लगेगा, उसके बाद ब्रेक ले सकते हैं. तो
ठीक
उसके
है, ठीक
बाद
है.
अनोवा और टी टेस्ट एंड देन वी विल डू ग्राफ्स इन नेक्स्ट सेशन. तो रिग्रेशन
ओके,
तक बिकॉज इट इज एक सिमिलर फ्लो में है ना, तो मैं
ठीक है सर,
रिग्रेशन भी समझा दूँ.
ठीक
ओके,
है, ठीक.
so for regression analysis, suppose we need to predict. Basically regression analysis makes an equation, uh, uh, it makes a equation based on these parameters, and for this equation we use to predict the values of independent variable based on this dependent variable. So क्या होता है कि सपोज फ्यूचर एंड क्या कहते हैं, आपका जितना भी फ्यूचर वैल्यूज कैसे प्रिडिक्ट करते हैं बाय यूजिंग डेटा सेट. दे यूज रिग्रेशन मॉडल्स. they make equation based on the samples we have collected, dependent and independent variable. And they can also predict कि पहले past, in past conditions what we present. So how first go to analyze and then the regression, and you select linear regression. We generally do linear regression, and in dependent variable we take dependent maths. So in statistics we need to changes descriptives and confidence. You can also plot these residual, what is predicted and what residual values. Z predicted to Z residual. What is Z? I will explain in few minutes. Is basically how much your value deviates from the mean. I will show you how to find out the Z scores. So Z residual and Z predicted. You can take histograms and then click OK. So basically this is the regression model. The first thing is descriptive statistics. Okay, so descriptive statistics is for both for both biology and math. Then correlation, which is similar Pearson correlation test. Like last correlation analysis, it shows 0.683. Okay, now this is the model summary. This is basically R value, which is correlation value itself, 0.683. And this is R square value. That means what it means is 0.466 means 46.6% chances that if 46.6% chances are there if maths score is higher, then biology score is also higher. So there is high degree of probability that if a biology student score higher or lower, then the corresponding math score of that student will be, there are 46.6% chances that it will be higher. Okay, so this R square value is very important. It shows how your value will increase if one parameter dependent value increase, how will your independent value also increases. These are ANOVA result, that is difference between the biology scores and math scores. And this is the model, this is the coefficient value from which you can plot the graph. You can make the equation. So you all know that the linear line, the equation of line is y equal to mx plus c, where y is intercept and m is slope of that line. Okay, so here the intercept value is this one, this constant mx plus c is constant, which is intercept, and m is slope, and y and x are these two value. Y is independent value and x is dependent value. So here x will be biology, m will be, y will be maths. So if you need to prepare this so y hmm, so type in 1 second somewhere. Y equal to so equation of line is y equal to mx plus c, where c is intercept. This is intercept value, intercept, and this is slope value. And these are dependent variable and independent variable. So you can make out equation using this line equation, and the so in this one, this model summary, this coefficient value. Okay, this coefficient table, you can see that 6.423 is the intercept value of that constant intercept c, and this 0.892 gives the slope of that line, slope of that dependent variable. Okay, so by using these two values, this area only, you can plot that graph. So you need to go to graph and then to chart builder, and in chart builder you select scatter plot. Okay, so in x-axis you put biology, you have to just drag and put in this into this space, and in y-axis you just need to fill with maths. Okay, and then select OK. So it will make a scatter plot of biology versus math, a correlation plot. This is basically a correlation. So you need to have a regression line on this. This is basically a correlation plot. If you may want to make regression line, just double click that, and in again in this value, so you can adjust the color of that background web using these. By clicking that particular, you can change that label, and also you can change the axis. Suppose first we need to change the axis of this, so we need to go to scale and give the minimum value to 0, and then to apply. Similarly, for x-axis, we need to change the axis to start from 0. Okay. Then we can apply this reference line. Okay, this is not that one. Add a fit line to the total. So while goes that, so after fixing these x-axis and y-axis from 0, we just need to click the right click on this graph and add a fit line at this graph. So this will show that basically the intercept this is linear regression line or quadratic line, cubic line. There are various options. We just need to click this linear regression line and then apply. So this is basically the equation of that uh, uh, regression equation based on the data set. Y equal to 40.27 plus minus 0.52. Okay, times x. So this is r square value 0.46 indicated, and this is the regression line on this chart. Okay, so this is the regression model we can predict in the SPSS. However, Hanji sir.
Sir, sorry, बीच में interrupt किया. Sir, is it necessary to adjust the axis up
नहीं
to
सर,
0?
नहीं नेसेसरी नहीं है, लेकिन
Okay.
ये अगर हम ग्राफ बना रहे हैं, क्योंकि मार्क्स 0 से स्टार्ट हो सकते हैं, जैसे 10, 20 ऐसे करके मार्क्स आ सकते हैं, तो बस उसको शो करने के लिए वी नीड टू मेक दिस काइंड ऑफ ग्राफ्स. नहीं तो नेसेसरी नहीं है सर, वैसे भी रख सकते हैं, क्योंकि हमारा वैल्यू जनरली स्टार्ट हो रहा था फ्रॉम अबव 50, तो इसलिए उसने स्टार्ट किया एक्सिस को 50 से. इट इज बेटर कि अगर हम रिग्रेशन बना रहे हैं तो 0 से स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं, लेकिन ये बिल्कुल भी नेसेसरी नहीं है, क्योंकि वैल्यू जो स्कोर्स हैं मैथ्स के और बायोलॉजी के, इट कैन स्टार्ट फ्रॉम 0 to 3, 4 लाइक दिस. सो वी कैन एडजस्ट आवर स्केल्स, graphical scales to 0 from both x-axis and y-axis, but it is not necessary always. हम कर सकते हैं, कर भी सकते हैं, नहीं भी कर सकते.
Okay, sir.
है ना, बस इक्वेशन के लिए वो हो जाता है. बट इन दिस केस इन PSPP there is no option of that regression line. Only we can do regression and make equation and do scatter plot. There is no option to make regression line. So you go to analyze and go to regression, then linear regression, and similarly independent we enter biology and independent we enter maths. And in statistic we can select coefficient interval or ANOVA and then click OK. So it will give similar model summary where r square value is 0.47, and you can see this is the these two value, constant value, and this is the that slope value 0.89. So you can make regression equation using these data set. We can plot the correlation graph. We can only observe correlation graph from this PSPP. So it is lacking the graphical interface, but in statistical part, it is similar to SPSS. So this is about regression model where you can predict that in that the R square value is 0.466, which shows that 46% chance is there when a person score higher in biology.
Meanwhile, participant can mark their attendance in the chat box. There is one thing I would like to add, if sir permit me.
Yes, sir, yes.
So, like in this example, sir have taken math and biology. So we can take any one of them as independent and the other as independent.
Independent. Yes, sir.
But
Yes.
it is not the same in all the cases.
All the
Many a
cases.
time, like I am giving you an example where we want to see if the water level increase in a pond, whether the number of fishes will increase or not.
Yes,
So
yes.
definitely in that case, we have to take the
Water level.
amount of water as an
Ex-
independent variable and number of fishes as a
Dependent.
डिपेंडेंट क्योंकि फिशेज का जो नंबर है वो पानी से बढ़ सकता है लेकिन फिशेज का जो नंबर है वो पानी से बढ़ सकता है लेकिन फिशेज के नंबर से पानी की वैल्यू नहीं बढ़
नहीं
सकती
बढ़ सकती. Yes.
तो दैट
Dependent.
वी हैव टू कंसीडर एंड देयर द ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन इज रिक्वायर्ड.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
So
you.
right now it is 12:02, so we can start around 12:10.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes. ठीक है, sir.
O- Okay,
Okay.
and sir, I request you because we have one more lecture, so if you can finish around 12:50, twelve
Yes, sir.
fifty-five,
Yes.
that will be great because
Yes,
we,
sir.
in that case, we will
Sir,
have.
only ANOVA and T statistics are left, and some parts of box plot, and bar graph. I will share these two details.
Okay, sir. Okay.
I will complete by 12:45, I think.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
sir. Okay.
We are about to start, so please be
Yes.
connected.
सर वो आपने कहा था ना मल्टीपल रिग्रेशन नहीं, कोरिलेशन तो नहीं हो पाता,
Okay.
लेकिन कंपेयर जरूर कर देगा इंडिविजुअली। तो जैसे अगर हम इसमें जाएंगे, मैं शेयर करूँ अगर दोबारा से स्क्रीन।
हम मतलब इंडिविजुअल लाइक एज एंड बायोलॉजी को कर लिया, एज और मैथ को कर लिया, और बायोलॉजी और मैथ को कर लिया, देन
हाँ,
वी कैन
वो एक साथ हो सकता है सर, लेकिन मल्टीपल कोरिलेशन जैसे ना कि एक ही प्लॉट दे तीनों का, वो नहीं हो पाता।
नहीं, प्लॉट तो सब पॉसिबल नहीं है, पर वैल्यू एटलीस्ट मिल जाए,
हाँ सर, वो हो जाता है।
जैसे
जैसे
आर में हमें
एनालाइज
मिलती है।
पे ही जाएंगे, इसी में ही कोरिलेट पे अगर हम बाइवेरिएट कर देंगे तो दो की जगह अगर हम तीन यहाँ सेलेक्ट कर दें, ये कौन सा खुला हुआ है,
ये कुछ और है सर।
कुछ और का खुल गए। अच्छा, वो वाला है, दूसरे वाला है सर। इसी में एनालाइज पे जाएंगे एंड कोरिलेट में बाइवेरिएट में बायोलॉजी, मैथ्स और एज तीनों को सेलेक्ट कर लेंगे ना, तो ये दोनों का रिजल्ट दे देगा। तो
Yes,
बायोलॉजी,
yes, yes. That I was looking for. Okay, just like R, we can get the this correlation value
हाँ
for
इन,
all these three parameter in like we
वो
can
कितने
see
भी
biology and
पैरामीटर्स का
math.
ऐसे दे देगा, क्योंकि वो सिंगल सिंगल कंपेयर कर रहा है अभी भी। तो
Yes.
बायोलॉजी को मैथ से कंपेयर कर रहा है और बायोलॉजी को एज से कंपेयर कर रहा है। लेकिन मल्टीपल कोरिलेशन में ना टोटल को एक ही ग्राफ बना के देता है, एक ही वैल्यू देता है, वो इसमें नहीं होता, वो लेकिन नए वाले में है सर।
अच्छा अच्छा,
ये
मुझे
वर्जन में
हमने
है।
R में मैंने एक बार देखा था, तो that also give a color coding.
हाँ यस सर, यस
मतलब
सर, आर्ट में तो बहुत चीजें हाँ
हाँ
हो
जी हाँ
सकती
जी,
है ऐसा।
but it's
लेकिन ये
also good.
हाँ, ये बहुत सिंपल सा है मॉड्यूल, क्योंकि इसमें तो सिर्फ आपको क्लिक ही करना
Yes,
है
yes.
टैब में करके, आर में बस टाइप करना होता है। लेकिन जैसे जैसे सर आप बता रहे थे उस दिन एआई का रिवोल्यूशन
अभी आपके लेक्चर के बाद वीना मैम का लेक्चर है,
हाँ हाँ,
तो
तो
अगर आप
उसमें
कनेक्टेड रहना चाहें तो रह सकते हैं,
मैं
तो
रहूंगा सर, हाँ जी। तो उसमें
ठीक
एआई से जैसे आप डायरेक्टली कोड कॉपी करके, बहुत मैंने देखा है यूज करते हैं, जो यूज करके आर में उसको बिल्डअप कर लेते हैं,
ठीक है।
कैसे भी इंटीग्रेट कर लेते हैं आर में,
यस यस
और फिर उसको यूज करते हैं इवन फॉर फाइलोजेनेटिक एनालिसिस सर, वो
यस,
डायरेक्टली आर में कोडिंग करके।
दैट आई ट्राइड।
यस, एआई से यूज
यस,
करते हैं लोग। हाँ
सो वी कैन स्टार्ट क्योंकि
यस सर,
टाइम थोड़ा कम है।
हाँ हाँ सर, यस ओके। सो कंटिन्यूइंग विद द डेटा सेट, next thing is to compare these two data sets. How to compare one data set with another, or compare one population with second population? Are there any difference between uh, the values in of anything in one population as compared to another population? So we can use this iris data set for that. So same, to upload the data set, we go to file, then open, then data, and in as this file type name, we select Excel, insert iris. Okay. So this is basically the iris data set, which shows the result of sepal width, petal width in different species. Three species are there: Iris setosa, Iris versicolor, and Iris virginica. I have created one more column because these are species name. It will not take into analysis. So I have given this as 1, 2, and 3, the three species. We can change using variable tab and give this sp as label. So value for 1 is setosa, for 2 it is versicolor, and for 3 it is virginica. Okay, so we are ready with the data set: setosa, versicolor, and virginica. Okay, now we need to compare, is there any difference in these three species based on sepal length? Are sepal length vary in these three species or not? So we can go to analyze, and in compare means we have several things. First is means. If we are only comparing mean, we need to select this. For one sample t test, this is for one sample t test. If we are within sample, we are saying showing variability with the uh, actual mean. So we can use one sample t-test. For two variables, independent variables, we select these independent sample t-test. And for paired sample, suppose same person gives before and after test, we will uh, see this also, the paired sample t-test. And last is one pair. Because there are three species, there are more than two variables are there, species variable, so we need to go to one way ANOVA. Okay, so for doing analysis of basically two or three, or making analysis that two population, analyzing two population, we need to set our data into index format. So this type of format where we have categorized the data set, which is sepal length, on the basis of these. This is known as indexed format. Suppose for making index format, suppose you enter 111 to one species, there are five values, then 222 for second species, there are again five values, and three for third species. And then you need to enter the data. You cannot enter the data like this is uh, uh, basically this is petal length, sepal length. You have to make it in index form. First population, second population, third population, ऐसे नहीं कर सकते इसमें. So sepal length in first population, second population second variable, third variable. इस तरह से normal data set जो Excel में fill करते हैं वैसे नहीं कर सकते. In this case, we need to change it to index format. Index format is we have given coding to the population. First species 1, second species 2, and third species 3. And then fill this variable name in front of it. So similarly, in this iris dataset, you can see that these are variables: sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. And these dataset is basically formatted like indexed values. Like in species, first is setosa, second is versicolor, and then it is virginica. So for comparing the two dataset, we need to do it in indexed format. So we can go to analyze and then go to compare means and one way ANOVA. So here the dependent list we can select. We can select all of it. It will give individual result. So suppose first we need to select sepal length. We can select later these three also. So first we select sepal length and see what we get. And we have differentiated species based on setosa, versicolor, and virginica. So factor will be SP because there are three species. We need to do post hoc analysis. Post hoc analysis compares every individual with every other individual. Suppose it will, in this case, it will compare the results of setosa with virginica, setosa with versicolor, and virginica with versicolor. So for this we use Tukey's multiple comparison analysis. Generally use Tukey's for when equal variance assumed, and when equal variance are not assumed, we do Turnet analysis. Okay, so we check Tukey's. We assume that the variance is equal in all the cases, and then press OK. So in result, in output file, this is the result of ANOVA. So you see there are different things: sum of squares, degree of freedom, mean square value, F value, and significance value. So basically F value is that value when you plot a graph. So that is the value you have received. There is a F table. This is your F value. Basically, ANOVA gives an F value. So this is calculated F value, and you compare it with the tabulated F value, and you will get the significance value. So this is basically showing which is less than 0.05. That shows there is significant difference between the two data set. So if you want to understand what it is, So it is basically, if you want to understand what is F value. So basically, if you see, this is the graph and this is the normal distribution pattern and this is mean. So this is the point of rejection. This is the tabulated F value. This is basically you see in table, and this value represent at particular degree of freedom. This value is represent tabulated uh, value represent the rejection range. Beyond this, you can reject the hypothesis, null hypothesis. And if it is inside this graph, this range, then there is no difference between the two data sets. So if our F value lies beyond this tabulated data, this is calculated F value lies beyond the tabulated data set. That means there is significant difference between the two. So this range is in biological science is 0.05. So this is basically that 0.25, half of it, because we are doing two tail, it is 0.025. 25%, 2.5% here and 2.5% on this side. Okay, so total is 5%. So our value is less than this, so it will get rejected. And SPSS directly gives you this F value or this significance value, which shows it is less than 0.05. That means there is significant difference between the sepal length among the three species. Okay, and this is the multiple comparison Tukey's result. You can see that in Setosa, Setosa is significantly different with versicolor or and also with virginica, and these are homogeneous subset based on these Tukey result. You can see that they fall in different subset altogether. That means Setosa is significantly different from versicolor and it is significantly different from virginica. So this is one-way ANOVA when we use single variable. You can also select in ANOVA in compare means, one-way ANOVA, analyze, compare means, and in one-way ANOVA, you can select all variables altogether. It will give result of all variables in one go. So everything is significantly different from every other thing. Sepal length, it is significantly different. Sepal width also significantly different. It shows these homogeneous subset. In every subset, you can see there is different subset. Suppose if the two parameters does not vary, then they will form the same subset. So it will come in this subset only if it does not vary significantly. Okay, so different subset mean it varies significantly among the three species. Okay, so this is the result of ANOVA and analysis of variance, which is known as analysis of variance. So suppose we this is for ANOVA where we compare more than two parameters or two population. If we are comparing more than two population, two species, we need to do ANOVA, analysis of variance. So if these as this variable, this fixed variable, this species is same. Suppose we have one more variable along with this, is this species and population. Suppose there is one more value which is population. So population 1 and then population 2 and then 3. जब तक ये SP this fixed variable single रहेगा, we have to do one-way ANOVA. This is known as one-way ANOVA. As soon as we increase one-way, two-way, three-way ANOVA, as soon as we increase this variability, Setosa, which is species, and one more dependent variable, which is population, then we have to do multiple MA is the variability of dependent variable, then or independent variable, then it will multiple comparison. So in this case, instead of this, we use general linear model. In this, we use multivariate. Okay. Now, similar to this, we can select, and there is one more covariate, which is population. So it will give result on the basis of these two. How the species is representing, or these data set is different according to species, and these data set is different according to species and according to population. It's manova. Now for t-test, we can use this kind of this data set where we have two sample, the previous one, biology and maths. We need to distinguish between the scores of maths with scores of biology. Or is there any difference between male and female? Male and female on the basis of biology and maths scores. Okay. For this, we go to analyze, and in compare means we select independent sample t-test. Okay. And for test variable, we select biology and maths. And in grouping variables, because we have grouped our data set on the basis of gender, this is also index format now, because male and female ke basis pe we are selecting the score. So the grouping variables here is gender. And in group, you can define it as male. Sorry. इसको 1 2 लिखना पड़ेगा इसको. So we have to convert it, nominal variable, we have to convert it to the scale variable. So this is gender, and in gender we
So
can
can't we change over here? Like you just made the another one. अब यहीं पर अगर हम change कर देते इनके measures तो
as female. Okay.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Compare mean one way, independent sample t-test. And instead of this, अच्छा ये generally लिया था ना. You can take this variable 1 and define group as 1 and 2.
Am I audible, sir?
Okay, it will give the t-test results. Okay.
Am I audible, sir?
There is in biology, we can see this is group statistics, mean, standard deviation, and
I
error,
just let my
and t-test result. This independent t-test result. You can see this in biology column. This is the F value, and this is the T value, and this represents the significance value, the P value. In this case, it is more than one more than this significance two tail. This is F value, Levine test of equality, and this is the T value. This range represents the T test for equality of mean. This is T value, and this is degree of freedom, and this represents the significance or P value. This two-tailed significance P value. You can see in biology, between male and female, there is significant difference. Okay, but in maths there is no difference because the values here are less than 0.05. 0.05 से कम है, so it shows that the male and female have different, significantly different scores in biology, whereas in maths you can see that it is more than 0.05. That means there is no difference in the scores between male and female in terms of maths result. Okay, so in independent test tells us about if these two parameters are different, biology and maths are different entities, then we can go and analyze in this compare mean using independent sample t-test. Okay, so in independent sample t-test, we insert our variables, biology and maths, and the grouping variable, that is gender, 1 and 2. And we have to, it will give same result. Okay, now for dependent variable, suppose that instead of biology and maths, this is pre-exam and this is post-exam. The same person is giving the exam before that course and after that course. Before and after result is there. So in this case, we need to perform that आपका paired sample t-test. So we have this paired sample t-test. So this is it. First variable is pre-exam, second variable is post-exam, and then in option we can do this confidence interval and then okay. So this is basically the summary of t-test, paired t-test result, which shows this pair differences, and you can see this significance is 0.205. So there is no difference of the course. Basically before exam it is same results are there after that exam based on this data set. So paired sample test generally compare pre and post exam or pre and post or before and after scenario, and that t-test, independent t-test, generally examines two different populations. But if we have more than two population or more than two species, we need to do ANOVA. Okay. So these three these three basically basic statistics we use to differentiate between the two population, to summarize the result of two population or three population or more than three population. These are t-test and ANOVA. To compare the two different, this is known as uh, inferential statistics, where we have uh, done some inference on the basis of the data set between the two population or more than two population. So for two population we use t-test and more than two population we use ANOVA. So these are two basic statistic tools we use to compare the means of the sample. Okay, so last thing in this case is to make graphs. So we use this iris dataset to make graph. So there is one analyze tool, transform tab, analyze tab, and there is also one graph tab. So in graph tab, you can make graph either through chart builder or through legacy dialog. Both show similar pattern. In legacy dialog, bar graph, line graph, area graph, pie chart, box plot, error bar, histograms, everything. So this, if you click chart builder, it will show same type of graphs. You need to just select the type of graph. Suppose we select box plot. We just need to drag this box plot, and then we need to insert the this. Suppose we insert their species name and in x-axis and petal width in y-axis, and then we need to press OK. So it will give a bar graph box plot based on these three. We can change also the color by double clicking this. We can change and apply settings. Every settings will change the color to anything. Okay, we can adjust the color of these scales using this one variable. So we can adjust scale ratio. If we want maximum 3.5 or 4.5, it will adjust to this one. This. Okay. So we can adjust our graph using this editing option, and then we can export our graph file, export into that file name to give that area, and you just need to click OK. It will export into that particular region. So So you need to export that into either, you can export it into a PPT, PowerPoint document, a PDF document, an Excel file, or Word document, anything you want. Suppose you want PDF document, you can export this entire statistical analysis in a PDF document. You just need to give that location also. So we set location to desktop and ZHC folder. File name, select save, and it will export that file into a PDF format into that folder. Okay. So this is basically the entire output graph. So high resolution output graph you can take out from this SPSS. Similarly, you can do this in PSPP. Same things are there to analyze, compare means, and one-way ANOVA, paired sample t-test, independent samples t-test. Same format is present in for comparison in this case, but only thing is you cannot build that specific box plot or graph in this PSPP. You have to use SPSS for that. So in SPSS, king is very easy to select this. Suppose we need to graph. So there is how to make multiple column. So in this case, mail and the data. But there is one file I have shared where there are more than two columns are there. So this is ID and gender. So in this case, you see there are two, this nominal scale variable, gender and class, and this is one result. So in this case, you can make multiple or graphs. So you go to graph, chart builder dialog, and in this case, you can select this. This is a multiple plot, and at x-axis either you can select class or gender, and you can give your cluster or segregate your cluster on the basis of gender. Either of them. Either you can fill gender in x-axis or either as a cluster, and you have to just enter CGP here. Now it will form a multiple column graph. This is bar graph, and it is of botany and zoology and based on gender. So this is multiple comparison you can use. Okay. So this is basically the graph you can make through chart builder dialog. You can change the graph style also using whisker plot or bar plot depending on the thing, and you can add the statistics minimum mean either on this. So it will provide this kind of graph. So there are multiple graph parameters you can see in chart builder graph. There are line, area, pie chart, scatter plot, histogram, and box plot. Most important is box plot, where you can plot all three things: maximum, minimum, and mean values. The box plot. Okay. So similarly, for this case, you have multiple box plot and class at x-axis, clustered by gender, and in this data set by CG. So this is basically a box plot of different variable, multiple box plot. Okay. So this is the graphical interface of SPSS, which is not present in PSPP. So PSPP you can basically use for doing statistical analysis, but for making graphs, either you can use SPSS or R for making these box plot. Even in Excel now you can make box plot by integrating AI also. So this is the summary of my lecture on SPSS. It is very easy interface based statistical package where you can do multiple things just using this analyze tab. By uh, these three things are important: descriptive statistics tab, compare means tab, and these regression and correlation tabs. So most of the things you can do with these analysis. And in non-parametric, you have also several options. Even in you can do chi-square using cross-tab. So analyze in frequency, analyze descriptive statistics for chi-square test. You use cross-tabs. So suppose if we segregate gender on the basis how many genders are there, if we segregate gender and age, so it will make the cross steps. Then we can do chi-square on this. So these are the basically there are two males with 17 years, three female with 18 years. So this is cross step. Now then the next step we can perform chi-square also by selecting this. So based on the data set, we can perform everything in SPSS. All non-parametric, parametric tests we can perform in using this analyze tab. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. And first of all, congratulations to summarize all the important points of SPSS within 2 hours. When we were framing this entire course, so the one question was very common, that will it be sufficient 2 hours for the package like SPSS or R? But now I can say that the way you explain the most of the point which we need in our research, that has been already explained in a very clear manner. Only one, there are few questions, sir, if you allow me.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So there was one question I was trying to ask while your lecture, but to Honi Paya.
Hanji, sir. Hanji.
So when you were changing the types of data, like from scale to nominal, and you
Yes.
have to create altogether a different variable. So possible to rename it from the scale to
Yes,
nominal?
sir. It is possible, sir. It is possible.
Then why did you type all the values again? Not in
सर
that other one.
सर वो कर सकते हैं उसको ही डायरेक्ट, लेकिन जस्ट बताने के लिए मैंने कि उस तरह से फिल करना चाहिए हमें स्ट्रिंग के लिए, तो मैंने वो बताया। नहीं तो डायरेक्टली भी वहां से आप उसको नॉमिनल को डायरेक्टली स्ट्रिंग कर देंगे, इट विल ऑटोमेटिकली टेक।
Okay. That. Thank you, sir. And there are some question on my personal WhatsApp.
यस यस
Can we use SPSS for geographical distribution? Is it possible in SPSS? Like in Excel, we have some geographical distribution type graph. Is it possible in SPSS?
आई थिंक इट इज पॉसिबल, लेकिन मैंने कभी मतलब खुद से किया नहीं। ज्योग्राफिकल डेटा जो जीआईएस का डेटा है वो इंटीग्रेट कर लेता है सर एसपीएसएस, लेकिन खुद से मैंने अभी कभी परफॉर्म नहीं किया वो ज्योग्राफिकल डेटा का। लेकिन पीसीए का आई हैव ट्राइड, प्रिंसिपल कंपोनेंट एनालिसिस मैंने एसपीएसएस में ट्राई किया हुआ, तो वो हो जाता है।
Sir, earlier, even I can say that SPSS and R were far better than the Excel.
Yes,
But
yes.
nowadays, when we can plot all kind of charts and all kind of analysis in Excel, now is there any role of SPSS in the present era of advanced Excel?
सर मेरे ख्याल से तो अभी एसपीएसएस बहुत कम लोग यूज करते हैं, रिडंडेंट सा हो गया है। लेकिन फिर भी जो अगर एमबीए या इन सब के स्टूडेंट्स को देखेंगे तो सारे जनरली लोग वो एसपीएसएस पे काम करते हैं, क्योंकि इसकी स्पीड लार्जर डेटा सेट को हैंडल करने के लिए बहुत अच्छा है। इवन एक्सेल में अगर आप बहुत बड़ा डेटा सेट होगा, इट वो उसको एक तो टाइम लगेगा और ऊपर से हैंग। लेकिन एसपीएस का डेटा सेट हो ना, उसको एनालाइज करने के लिए वो पूरा फ्रेमवर्क उसमें है,
Oh,
जो
oh.
कि एक्सेल में नहीं है। आर में है सर, आर कैन हैंडल लार्ज, वेरी लार्ज डेटा सेट।
Yes, sir.
बट
R is the language, sir. So
यस सर,
so
सो आर
because I
एंड
think
एसपीएस।
right now either all the researchers are using the Excel or R or
आर,
Python.
यस सर, यस सर, हाँ, पाइथन, पाइथन
Python.
एंड आर।
R से.
Yes, sir. लेकिन जो जितने भी एमबीए कर रहे हैं लोग, वो अभी भी एसपीएस पे काम करते हैं। पूरा डेटा सेट उनका एनालिसिस एसपीएस पे होता है। एंड इसका सपोर्ट सिस्टम जो है ना सर, जो ये सपोर्ट इनके साथ आता है, जो पेड वर्जन के साथ, वो बहुत ही अच्छा है इंटीग्रेट करके। वो अब एआई भी उन्होंने इंक्लूड कर दिया है नए वाले वर्जन में, तो बहुत ही अच्छा हो गया सर एसपीएसएस फॉर बेसिकली फॉर जैसे ये स्टॉक मार्केट वाले जो आप देखते हैं ना चीजें उनके लिए ये बड़ा अच्छा हो गया एसपीएसएस।
Or sir, can we also use AI in SPSS like in
यस
Excel?
सर, सर नए वाले में सब वर्जन में एआई इंटीग्रेट आता है।
Okay, okay, that's really great.
यस
Then we don't have to remember all the shortcut. We just
यस
simply type
सर,
our
ये वैसे ही
commands.
यूजर फ्रेंडली है। आप इसमें देखेंगे ना, कुछ टाइप नहीं करना है, कुछ कमांड वैसे नहीं देना है, बस ड्रॉप डाउन मेन्यूज है ना।
Yes,
और उसमें भी एआई यूज करके ये और इंटीग्रेट करके काफी चीजें कर देता है। जैसे पीसीए में थोड़ा सा इसमें पुराने वर्जन्स में दिक्कत है, लेकिन न्यू वर्जन जैसे ही आप लेंगे, उसमें यू कैन इजीली डू पीसीए। वो भी ड्रॉप डाउन में डाल दिया उन्होंने, प्रिंसिपल कंपोनेंट एनालिसिस।
ठीक.
यस।
So that's it. Let me check. Is there any question in the chat box? No. There is no more question, neither on my personal WhatsApp nor in the chat box. So thank you very much, sir. And we will give a formal vote of thanks after the end of the second lecture. So
ओके
we
सर।
hope that you will continue with
यस
the.
सर, यस सर, आई विल।
Okay, sir. So right now it is start once the Veena ma'am will rejoin. So meanwhile we can all have a break. So all the participants are requested to mark your attendance in the chat box. And for those who have joined through YouTube, so their attendance will the Google Meet only. Thank you, sir. So we will have a break of 15 minutes. Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So we just first two lectures on SPSS, and we informed our participant that we will rejoin at 1 p.m.
Fine, sir. No problem.
Okay. Okay, so very good afternoon, all once again, all the participants. Am I audible? Am I okay? So, uh, thank you very much, Vineet sir, for such an insight on SPSS. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Veena Ghuriani for the second time, our second speaker for today's session in this certificate course on data analysis. As we know that she have introduced various AI tools to use in the data analysis. Today, she will also explain some more various AI tools available as our participant responded to know more about the different various tools which are available for us. So, Dr. Ghuriani, over to you for your second lecture. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon, participants. It's a pleasure to join back for this second session. I hope I'm audible.
Perfectly, ma'am, perfectly.
Yeah. So, in today's session, as Dr. Savinder has already informed you that I'd already taken a feedback from him whether you would like to cover Julius AI in detail or other AI tools. So, as per your feedback, you were interested in knowing about other AI tools. So, I have framed my session in such a way that we'll be covering more AI tools for data analysis. I'll be sharing my screen, and in today's session, I'll be covering 4 more AI tools that can be used for data analysis. Please give me a moment, I'll share my screen. Yeah, is my screen visible to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So the first tool that we will be covering is Formula Bot. Formula Bot is also for data analysis. It is a tool for data analysis, and as we had discussed earlier also that all these tools have some pricing associated with it. But we will be just trying out whatever is available for free. And what I believe is for the beginners, even the features that are available for free are sufficient for any kind of analysis that you wish to do. So let me start from here. This is Formula Bot. You need to sign up with your Google account, so that is pretty much easy. Okay, so since I had tried this out earlier, I already have an account over here, and this is the starting screen that we get. So here you can see that it can perform these following sessions: upload tasks, upload the data, ask questions, add AI based columns. No data, no problem. I mean, it can give you without any data. Also, it can help you around with the solution with analysis part, right? So, and you can see that here what you can do is you can clean and prepare your data, generate graphs, perform sentiment analysis, extract text, identify correlations, and uncover insights. So these are the features that are available in Formula Bot over here. Now what I can do is I can again upload some data over here. So this is the link for uploading the data. When I click over here, it asks me to upload the file. So I can upload, you can see that these are different files it can upload. Upload an Excel file, or you can upload your PDF file or Google Sheet or any other data source. It can be some, if you're using some kind of DBMS, some SQL file you have. So that is the strength of this particular AI tool, that it entertains almost all types of files that are generally used for analysis. So here I'm uploading my file. And just for the continuity sake of the continuity, I am using the same file that I used in the previous session, the Anand Vihar AQI data. I'm using the same data over here so that we fall in continuation with whatever we had studied earlier. In fact, I would always suggest you that whenever you are using a tool or whenever you will be trying out a tool, If you, which tool to use, generally the question comes is which is better, which we should use, is basically on your discretion only. If you have a data, you can run it on different AI tools and see what kind of analysis is being returned by these tools, whichever is suitable for you. Maybe if you're talking about charts, if you think that charts or visualization is more important, so if your focus is more on charts, you can go for that tool which where you're getting better charts, or you can select a tool which is giving you better key insights. So that is completely on you. So here we are uploading the data. It will take some time. Yeah, process the data, and now we can move on. And here, if I ask, it already has an attachment. This is the attachment. We can confirm that this data has been uploaded over here, right? So if I want to now uncover insights, so I click on this particular option, and you are getting these options: conduct an exploratory basic analysis. So whatever we want, we can just select it from here, right? So I select a file from here. This is the file I want to select, on which I want to perform exploratory analysis, and I click on this particular button. So it is showing me all the columns that were already present in this particular file, and I had already discussed these with you. These are basically the major pollutants that are measured while calculating the AQI of any place. And this data, I told you, has been extracted from the CPCB site, which is the site for Pollution Control Board. And you can get this data about any monitoring station. So here it has already started working on the data. And as I told you in the last session also, since all these are based on LLMs, large language models, they have an underlying Python layer which is running the code for us. So whatever query we are putting, that query is understood by generative AI, and accordingly the large learning model will be applied, and Python codes runs it at the background. Right. So this is how it runs. So you will be seeing the Python code as we just saw over here. So you can see that it has done some kind of analysis and returned certain results. So the data contains 366 columns, 29 columns for air quality monitoring data from Delhi. This is the data type breakdown, what kind of data is present, which type of stone, which column. Then you have again key column categories, right? So it is telling you the main air pollutants that have been considered, the weather parameters that have been considered, the air quality indices over here. Data quality, as you can see, the major pollutant measurements. It is telling you how many missing values are there. So we had an option of cleaning the data. We can do that also, right? So here it is asking, now can you calculate the descriptive? Now this is not the query I entered. It is entering some queries according to its own understanding. Whatever is generally done in exploratory analysis, it is doing it on its own. So this is the code it is running. And you can see the descriptive statistics has been given here. So I can expand it by clicking on this particular button. And you can see it's writing over here that the preview will be limited to the first 60 rows. I think that is because we're using the free version of the software. And maybe when we purchase it, we have some kind of subscription plan. It will cover all the rows and give us the results. So we'll have to wait for some seconds over here till it is processing our data. Let us see what it returns to us. Okay, I'll just abort it here itself because it's taking a lot of time. I'm just giving you how it is to be used. So here we had this exploratory analysis, right? If I want to perform some kind of correlation analysis, I want to do some kind of data visualization or analysis, I can again do the same thing. Select the file from here and then run the report. Correlation analysis can be done, anomaly detection, sentiment analysis. Again, for sentiment analysis, obviously it doesn't make any sense to do sentiment analysis on this kind of data, because sentiment analysis generally requires textual data. So depending upon the type of data, it's not necessary that we select everything. Whatever is suitable, whatever is required by us, only that we will be selecting and using it for our research. Here, the most important thing, data preparation and cleaning is also there. So we can again select that particular file and run the report, and it will perform the cleaning right here itself. Yeah, so I am not doing the thing because the data set I am using is a little heavy, which I feel, and that is slowing down the formula bot over here. So you can see these are the options available, and you can try it out at your own convenience, right? So here again, there are certain things, ask questions, right? So here I like have to add the data again, because as I have pressed the back button, the data has gone away. So if I want to get some key insights over here, maybe I'll add my data. So now it is showing one attachment. And if I ask here, study or describe the trend of AQI for the years 2018 to 24. So again, you can type your own question and then it will generate the result accordingly. It's not necessary that we just simply follow whatever is given in the template, like cleaning the data, data visualization, key insights. These are the buttons already present over there. But if you have your own button, you can write your own query and then get the result. So it is working over here.
By mistake, you have selected 2014 instead of 24.
Just a second. Let us see now what result is being given by this particular AI tool. It has given us the Python code. You can see here that it was giving some error over here. There was some format mismatch, but it resolves those things and re-executes the code. So you don't have to worry whether if you're getting some error in the Python code, how will you debug it? It is not actually your task. The LLMs will do it themselves. Same was the case in Julius AI also. There also, if the code gets stuck, the Python code gets stuck, it gives you some error. You don't have to worry. It will try to resolve it on its own and execute it. So it is doing all these steps, even explaining the steps. So these steps will be helpful for those participants who are already aware, who know how to work on Python. So if they understand the code, if they want to understand the code, it has given you the step-by-step, execution that it is performing. Let us again see whether this works or not, because earlier it was taking some time. Okay, here we can see that yes, it has returned us a graph. So according to the AQI trend, starting from 2018 to 24, it has given us some data. Yeah. And again, if you want to download this particular data, you have a download button over here, and this you can use in your wherever in your report, in your research work, wherever you want. So this is how the formula bot is working. We can see that the interface is slightly different. Maybe the results you'll get will be different. One or two features have been added over here. The sentiment analysis part was here, right? So this is what you can try, and this is your formula bot. Now I'll move on to the next tool that we have, and that tool is called Data Squirrel. So this is the tool Data Squirrel AI. So this again, you can try it for free. So this is the interface of Data Squirrel. I had tried it, so you can see that the file is already there. The file that I have uploaded, it was the same file that I've been using it. But if you want, you can start with a new project over here. You'll have to drag the file you want to work on, right? So drag the file that you'll be working on, or copy paste the link of the Google Sheet. If it is a Google Sheet, or if it is any other data source, you can use it from here. And now if you want to see how it is working, it will give you a kind of a dashboard. It combines, whatever the data you're giving, it will build the graphs, build a dashboard for you so that you can select whatever graph is suitable for you. And or if you're not satisfied with the graph, you can ask some other questions. If it comes to your mind, you can automatically ask and get the answer for it. So here you can see that if I just scroll down for this particular file, it has automatically generated all these graphs. So the emphasis on this particular tool is more on creating a dashboard kind of a thing. All these have been created by yourself. So according to your study, you can see which particular conclusion, which particular result you want to portray in the form of a graph, and then use that particular graph. Now I'll just show that how you can. So you can see when you click on this particular graph, you have this particular option of download also, right? So you can download this particular thing. I will click on edit this chart.
Ma'am, just only one thing I want to confirm. You didn't give any command for this. So
I
it's
did not. Yes.
okay.
It is doing it itself. It is doing it itself.
Okay.
So that is the beauty of Data Squirrel. It will first, whatever data you are uploading, it will understand, it will create its own dashboard.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
It does it automatically. Yeah. And
Yes.
here, whatever chart that you have, you can see that there are options of changing the type of the chart that you want. So if you want, you can convert it into a line chart. Instead of writing a command, instead of bar chart, please give a line graph for this particular. You can make certain changes from here only, right? And here, if I'm talking about whether you want to work on count, unique count, sum, average. So whatever is applied here, you can work on that. If I go back to the bar graph, here it is showing what the bar graph is already there. And also there are certain other things you can do. I'll just click on the settings. Settings you already know, you're already aware of, right? So settings, if you want to change the theme, you want to show the chart as 3D. So it will work on it and create a 3D chart for you. Or if you want to change some color palette, these are things that you may like to use if you want to create a beautiful chart somewhere. Sometimes the students are, or researchers also want that the charts have to be presented very well. We don't want a normal chart that is returned by Excel. You want to work on some other chart. Different types of charts, right? So the charts, you can see that you can edit these charts, edit colors also. There is an option of selecting a color palette also. So all these things you can try on your own, right? selecting any column to filter. I mean, if it is applicable, only then you can use it. Other thing that most important thing what I felt was, as in Julius AI, we could share the work that we were doing. Here also in Data Squirrel also you have an option of share, right? So you can share this particular sheet with your colleagues who are working on the same data, and you can work, see what all commands, whatever dashboard you have created, and then you have a discussion on that or whatever you want, right? So this is possible over here. Now here, if I'm talking about insights, because till now what we were seeing in this particular tool is only the graphs. The visualization is quite good over here, which is generated automatically. We did not do anything, it automatically generated. But yes, if you want to do something on your own, you want to give your own particular command, here is the command over here. You can click over here, yeah, and write whatever you want to, I mean, the chart that you wish to create. So this particular dashboard is more about creating charts, visualization. That is the main purpose. I mean, it is the main focus of this tool is visualization. Here also you have an option of generating a new chart. So when you click on new chart, again it will ask you whatever you want. I mean, if you want to create only, see the trend of only AQI, or see the trend of only one particular pollutant. So you will be typing that particular query over here in this particular search box. So you can write the query in this particular text box and it will create the result or create the chart as per your requirement. Here is an option of auto AI also, but auto AI, you can see it has been disabled over here because it has automatically, whatever it wanted to generate, it has already generated. So this particular button is disabled and it is of no use to you. Yeah. And here you can see create your own chart again. So when you talk about creating your own chart, you can select the chart over here. KPI is the key performance indicators. So if you're already aware of what key performance indicators are, this can be of use to you. Otherwise, visualization is the main thing that you can use from this particular tool. So when you say you write something over here for a chart, because this is, you can see that it is mainly for chart, it is coming up. So Data Squirrel will give you mainly charts, and you can write, draw a bar chart between AQI and say PM 2.5. If I say right like this. So it is working on it and it will generate it. I think it has not understood. Let me say. Okay, so the chart has been created over here. I click on this, take me there. Seems the net is slow at my end today, so it's taking quite a lot of time. Also, till it is generating, you can see a button over here, show data. So when you click on this show data, it will give you a tabular representation also. or whatever graphs there are already there. If you want to get a tabular representation, the tabular representation is also available. I'll go back to the chart it has already drawn, because generating it is taking time. So let me just say, I'll just show it to you. Yeah, so this graph is already there. If I click on this, show data, this is the table it creates. So again, it is possible to download this particular table also, right? And the chart can also be downloaded from here. Okay, and this button, you can see that this is for generating automated insights. So if you want to generate certain insights from the data that you have already uploaded, you can click on this particular button, the bulb button you can see on the top. So these are some insights that I've created, but you can see that these insights are not very nicely explained. So because data squirrel is more about visualization, the insights it has given, but these are given, I mean, point wise. So if you think that these are this you can use, you can quote anywhere. I mean, you can use it over there. Otherwise, maybe Julius AI that we had seen in the previous class, that was giving you a better descriptive insights of the data that we were downloading. So every tool has some pro and con. Accordingly, you can select it. Okay. After this, after data squirrel, I move on to the next tool, AI tool that I'll be covering, and that is quadratic AI. So this is the home page AI. And again, you can see that you have an option almost on every AI tool. You have an option of uploading the data. Here again, you can see that the data can be uploaded in the form of a CSV file, a PDF, an image, Paraquet, Excel. So here you can see, you can connect your data from all these databases. All these are databases, and if you have some database file, MySQL, I think all of you must be aware of. So you can connect your database file along with this quadratic AI and generate your insights. So I'm uploading my data again. Let me write more or less. You can see that the working of these tools is quite similar, but what it is generating, how it is generating the display, all this is a little different from one another. Here you can see that the data that we have uploaded is in the form of an Excel format, right? And it is also possible for you to do some kind of formatting on this particular Excel data. So if you want, you can do that also. Let me just go up and see what it is doing. So it has already started generating the 5 insights. It is taking some time. Yeah, so it is there. You can see that the insights it is giving here, here are the insights that are given over here. Monthly AQI, highest AQI it is giving, right? And if I'll just see, yeah, pollutants, yeah. So the description is given more over here on the left hand side rather than on the right hand side. We can see over here. So 5 insights are monthly AQI trend shows which month had the highest AQI. Then AQI category distribution identifies the most common air quality category. Pollutant AQI correlation also it has generated. Seasonal AQI pattern also it has generated, and worst pollution days also it has generated. So this it has already done. I'm just trying to see where it is showing the result. It is there, but it's not showing the final result over here. Okay. Sorry, that is the code. Yeah, so this is where we started from, and you can see that after analyzing, it is summarizing the result. Okay, now we can see. Yeah, now it is returning it properly. Average AQI. Now these are some other insights. Earlier it was giving something else because the AI tool can obviously work and give you some different insights every time. So average AQI, here is the value. Maximum AQI 498. Minimum AQI was 68. Most common AQI was very poor. AQI class is PM10. Versus non-winter. The winter is basically the worst time for the AQI, where it is going to 313. That is what it is giving over here. Correlation between temperature and AQI, so that is minus 0.374. Correlation between humidity and AQI, it is already given over here. Right now, here it is after giving everything. You can see that on the left hand side also it has given you these insights only: average AQI, maximum, minimum. All this has been given over here also. And then create pollution trend visualization. Now, if you want to create some kind of trends, let me just click. Now this it is prompting you, right? It is automatically based on your data. It is telling you what all you can do further on this data. So if you want, you can select it. Otherwise, here is the window where you can write your own question and ask the tool to analyze your data according to what you are writing. So if I just click on this, see the visualization, create pollution trend visualization. It will create a times, it is saying it will create a time series chart showing AQI trends over the years 2024. So here is the chart. Obviously, this chart is not making any sense for us, so we will definitely not use it, right? Let me see monthly average AQI analysis. So this is what it has done, monthly analysis it has done. And let me see what it is doing further. I've created a monthly AQI bar chart that shows. Now the bar chart is not visible over here. Maybe sometimes there is a lag between the things it is creating. As we just saw that earlier also in this particular table, the values were not visible. But when I did it again, the values were there. So it is basically, since it is cloud, all these are cloud-based applications, a lag might be there, and you can retry doing the whole thing again to get the results. Okay, so now it is saying that it can compare the AQI with other cities, but I have not given the AQI of other cities. So if I think that this can be of use to me, I can click on this. Maybe it will retrieve the data, some from my sheet that I have given and some from the web. So see, it is giving you the sources from where it will collect the data. I'll help you compare Anand Vihar AQI trends with other major Indian cities. However, I need to gather data for other cities first. Let me search for recent AQI data of for major Indian cities to create a meaningful comparison. Now it is trying to do something over here. Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata, Hyderabad. It has tried to give certain observations over here. So Delhi it already has, but for other cities, somewhere it is giving us, AQI classes that we had used: poor, good, bad, right? And not much accurate data it could find out. Here again, there's another table that has been given over here. average AQI, best AQI category, worst AQI category. There's something called Swachh Vayu key observations. So all these are insights that you can want. If you want, you can include, and you can see that the beauty of this particular tool is it is not related. It is not constrained by the data that you have uploaded. It is going beyond that, searching the web and returning you some kind of comparisons over here. So this also, if you want, if you think that you're writing a research paper and you want to comment on the AQI of Delhi in comparison with other cities, so this can be of help to you. See here, city comparison analysis also it has given. Yeah, it is giving you Delhi, Anand Vihar has the worst average AQI. Bangalore has the best air quality with AQI ranging from, so the range has been given. Mumbai shows significant improvement with one poor day, a single poor day in 2024. Delhi ranks 11th in pollution control efforts, indicating room for improvement. So this kind of analysis, if you want, it is also possible in quadratic AI, right? So again, you can see that whatever prompt, actually the LLM, since all these models, all these tools are based on LLM, it is the accuracy with which the prompt is written. According to that only it will return the results. So you should know what you want from the tool. Most of it the auto AI is generating for you. Most of the analysis automatically the tools are doing for you. So if you want, if you're not satisfied with that particular analysis, you'll have to very specifically write your command in order to get the analysis done in the way you want the tool to do it, right? So I think this also gives you an idea of this particular tool, quadratic AI. Here also you can see a share button is there, so you can share this particular analysis that you're doing with your colleagues, the way we have been sharing our Google Docs, our Google Sheets, and so on. This menu, if you see, you can see that it has some options, limited options where of Excel that you can use over here. So if you want, you can create your own Excel. You can format it the way you want to, and then you can download it also. See, the download option is over here. So once you have used this particular data, formatted it, inserted certain things, maybe charts, everything you have inserted, and now you want to download it, you can download it in the form of CSV, XLS, or Quadratic. It has its own format, .grid format. So you can download it in that particular manner also. So this was about Quadratic AI. The last tool I'll be taking for the day is Claude AI. So this is the last tool that we'll be taking. So here you can again log in with your Gmail. Basic steps to create your account. So you can select here whether you want to work with team on this particular tool. So you'll be having multi-users, or you want to do it personally. So I am selecting the most basic one. It is offering me free version also, as we was aware, it was seen everywhere. Okay, the basic settings required. Really sorry for the net today. It's quite slow at my end.
No issue, ma'am, no issue.
In fact, some of the tools have downloadable version also. So I think Quadratic had one. If you want, you can download that tool on your system and use it. But for others, you're dependent on the cloud version that will be available only when you are connected with your net.
Ma'am, meanwhile, can I ask a question?
Yes, yes, sir. Please.
Ma'am, as we have seen that there are many AI tools available, like Formula Board, Data Squirrel, or Quadate, or just Cloud, or the last week, Julian. But how do one will get to know which of these is genuine? Like nowadays, in the thieves are there online, always there 24/7. So how do we trust on any AI tools?
I agree with your concerns, sir. In fact, if you remember that in the last session that I took was that was on Julius AI. So the best thing I highlighted about Julius AI was that it will store the data only for an hour. But obviously, it is storing 1 hour is too big for any data thief.
Yeah,
So
ma'am.
knowing that where the data is safe or not is a big concern, and all these tools are genuine for sure, because obviously when they are asking for pricing and they have some subscription plans associated with them, they are genuine, but the data privacy can be might be compromised. I cannot say guarantee anything on their part. These tools are there, and people are using it, but the data theft, I really do not know whether that can be avoided through these, what will happen with these websites or not. So that is a big question.
So in that case, whenever we are uploading our personal data, like our research data, so we must hide something so that that same data cannot be used by other person before we publish our data.
Yes, in fact, see, sir, even if you remember, I asked you to share some biological data so that I could use it
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
demo. But the first thing that came to my mind was the same concern you have raised now. Why should I use anybody's personal data? So I am again and again using this data because this is publicly available and there are no chances of any theft. That was the one concern I am using it.
Okay.
Personal data analysis to be done over here. I agree with you that maybe we can hide certain things. We should come to these tools only when we think that something is amiss in your research study and you really want to use these AI tools. And these AI tools, I think, are for beginners, mainly for beginners. For seasoned researchers, we have our own techniques that we used. Like I work in computer science, so I have never, I'll acknowledge over here that I have never used these tools ever. I confide on the Python program that I write and I run my code on that. So I know that my data is secure because that code is running on my system and that data is very secure with me only. But for beginners where the data, I mean, is not very, I mean, they have created their own data, they are using it from some other data source. You can use that particular data on for such, cloud services. But for research data that you are generating through your hard work, your experimentation, even I would not recommend to be uploaded on these tools. For some basic research to learn how to take out insights, how to look at data, what angles should be there, what can be analyzed, these tools might help. So that is a thing that we have to keep in mind, that what kind of data we are uploading over here.
It means we should be more, we should be smarter than these AI so
Yes.
that they cannot take any data without our permission.
Yes. Of course, of course. That I agree with you. So this is the actually interface that we're getting with Claude AI. Again, almost the same thing. You can see that you have a plus button over here, and this plus button is for uploading the data, right? So you can click on here. It will ask you to upload a file. Here you can upload the data from GitHub also. So upload a file. Okay, files of the following format is not supported. CSV is not supported over here. So maybe it can, I'll just try to see if I have some other data that I can use. Just a second, sir. I'll just search for the data. Okay, I found a small file. Let me see, it's an Excel file, whether it is able to upload that particular data or not. Okay, I think it has a constraint, maybe on the type of files that can be used. I'll create my project first. It can add, we can add only PDFs over here, PDF documents and other text for reference to reference in this particular project. So you will be needing a PDF file to upload over here, and the AI tool will be able to analyze it. So maybe what I can do is I'll first convert my file into a PDF and then just try to show a small demo over here. Give me a second. Okay.
Ma'am, your screen is not visible.
It will be visible now.
Yeah, now it's
So this is a PDF file that I have. And if I write again, it is creating its own code first, and then it will give us the analysis. So till this is running, sir, can we open the session for questions? Because it is almost done. Only the interface is different. Here you can see, yeah, the key insights it has returned based on the analysis for your July 2022 sales data. Here are the main key findings. So here you can see it has written certain key insights that the like shift analysis it is saying day shift it is telling you the sales and the profit, and night shifts it is telling you the sales and the profit. So night shifts are more profitable with better margin despite slightly lower total sales volume. Notable patterns: best single day for sales, it is giving you the single day. Best day, single day for profit. Performance were relatively consistent over the period, and so on. I mean, so these are the analysis it has returned over here. Certain graphs have been written. Sales representative performance it has written because there were just two representative in this data, Ben and Jacob. So it is giving you the total sales and the profit that has been generated by these two representatives, and then the shift performance distribution. Again, so some of the analysis it has automatically done. I did not, I just say analyze the data. So that was a very vague statement I gave for the data, and it has returned some of the key insights it could derive from the data. We can be very specific about what we want from the data, and accordingly the tool would work. So I'll complete my demo for the day here. I have covered my 4 tools: Data Squirrel, Formula Bot, Quadratic AI, and Claude AI. I'm open for questions now.
thank you very much, ma'am. And it was extremely informative for all of us. As earlier, we were not aware about all these tools which are freely available for us. There are some questions which I have already received, and meanwhile, participant can chat, write their question on the chat box or directly WhatsApp me. So the first question was for Formula Board, as it was showing for free version. There are only first 60 rows are free.
Yes.
So is the same limit for column, or we can add as many column as we want?
I'm not really sure about the columns. I mean, see, I'm trying out these tools for this particular session. So it was the limit was there for 60 rows. You'll have to try it out and see whether there is any limit for the columns also.
Okay. So yes, and there is one more question, although I have already asked the similar question, that when we are getting insight by sending a vague command like analyze the data or the give the 5 important points from the data. So if we are using a different AI, so which AI we have to trust? Like Formula Board will give us mainly the analyze part, whereas the Squirrel AI will give more visualization part. So according to me, like it's up to us that what kind of information we want, and we should not blindly trust on them. Like
Yes. Exactly. These tools are just to facilitate us. We should not blindly rely on these AI tools. This I would always say. Even if you're making use of Chat GPT, there have been several instances where we have seen that it is not giving us the correct results. So please do not blindly trust these AI tools. These should be acting as a last resort where maybe you want to find or confirm something which you've already explored and analyzed. So maybe this can help you in adding on whatever research you have done, but you cannot just give the data and say that and quote whatever the results of whatever the key insights have been returned by these AI tools. You should not in fact directly quote these key insights directly into your report or research work. No, I will never suggest that.
Yes, ma'am. And like for biological data, we must remove the ref. Suppose we have prepared a table which also contain the reference and the main column head. So we can change the column head so that it will give us only the analysis part.
Yes.
So
That care we will have to take care of that. Yes, definitely.
Sansar, you want to ask? Okay, let me ask. Oh, there are many questions.
I can see that. I'll take these up.
Okay, can you take it from your
Yeah,
end?
I'm taking up. First was to share the name of softwares or apps in the group at the end. I'll list out all the tools I have covered and send it to sir. And then Pragati is asking, ma'am, can we get insights of the graph generated of 1A? Definitely you can, because there are certain tools which where you can upload the image. So when you're uploading an image, that can be an image of the graph, and you can ask other tool to analyze the graph that has been generated by some other tool. You can do that. That is possible. What is the taken in using AI in research article publications? See, that we have already in general discussed that please do not blindly trust this AI tools. If you're doing a research, if you're doing your PhD, it should be done in the way it is given to you. Like if I'm talking about botany or zoology, environment science, there are certain set procedures I think you people are following. So you need to follow that. You have to rely more on your understanding about the topic rather than completely relying on these AI tools. These AI tools can just help you to give direction to the type of result that you can derive. Like if I'm talking about the AQI data that I was displaying, it was telling me, okay, I can get an insight on AQI per class month wise. I can get the seasonal variation. So basically what happens is when I am writing my research, maybe highlighting the seasonal variation did not strike me, but the tool helped me identify that an analysis can be done in that particular direction also. So these kind of pointers can be taken from these AI tools, but do not completely include anything that is returned by an AI tool without verifying it from your end also. That verification is very important, right? So please do that verification and do not blindly trust any result, anything that is being returned by the AI. Are AI generated data sets reliable? No, I don't think so. They are reliable because what will they'll do is they will take the data from two or three sources and maybe they'll merge it together and return it to you. So you do not know how the mapping was done, whether the mapping was correct or not. So they are not at all reliable. All the information in research paper, how can we these data in research paper? See, you do not have to cite the use of any AI tool, but these days what I'm seeing that when you are submitting any kind of research paper, there are two things that you need to submit. Is sometimes the journal is asking for an AI check. I mean, how much percentage of AI is there, and also for acknowledging any AI tool if you have used in your research. So if you're using some kind of AI tool, that you have to acknowledge, but nothing like citing is done. You don't have to cite it anywhere, but you have to acknowledge that I have used this particular AI tool for the analysis for mentioned in this particular section. So maybe most of the analysis, most of the research you have done, but for one particular section, one particular analysis, if you've made use of the AI tool, that can be acknowledged. how can we use these data sets in? No, I would not recommend using any of these data sets that were generated by AI tool in your research papers. I'll definitely not recommend. I think those are the questions. I've taken all of them, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So in short, we can say that we have to generate the data from our end, from our study, from our feedback forms or survey or in labs, and then we have to take the AI tools to get the insight, and that again have to verify from our end that whether whatever insight we are getting it is correct or not.
Yes.
So that's it for today, and both the lectures were very important, and now it's the time for formal vote of thanks. So, Jisan sir, will you allow me for that? Okay, okay. So, on behalf of the organizing committee, I take the opportunity to express my heartful gratitude to all those who made this event a success. First and foremost, our sincere thanks to Dr. Vineet and Dr. Veena Ghuriani for gracing this occasion with their presence and sharing such valuable insight about SPSS and various AI tools. We are truly honored. I extend our deep appreciation to Principal Sir Professor Narendra Singh, whose guidance and constant support made this program possible. To the IQAC coordinator, Professor P.K. Sisodia, and the bursar of the college, Professor Mukesh Jain, thank you for your constant support and guidance. I also acknowledge the constant effort of the convener SDCC, Dr. Saima, and fellow colleagues, Professor Dheeraj Singh, who ensured the smooth conduct of the session. A special thanks to all the participants who have registered and shown such enthusiastic engagement continuously since last 2 months. Your presence is what gives meaning to this course. Last but not the least, thank you all once again for being with us today. We look forward to continue learning, collaboration, and success throughout the course. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, Vineet, sir. Now, you all the participants can mark your attendance. And it's a gentle reminder that we haven't closed the assessment form, but it will be shown closed. So in case you haven't submitted your assessment come feedback form, please submit it as soon as possible.